Of course, the videos. Oh, there we go. Give me a 60-second.
Time for Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
Ball poked away by Lake. He gets it out in front for Colin Warmouth in the dunk.
Welcome to this broadcast of Roseburg Sports, presented by CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Now, let's get ready for the game. Here's your pregame show host, Joey Kiran.
Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome in to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Roseburg High School. It's time for Roseburg basketball tonight here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Tonight, your Roseburg Indians welcome in the North Medford Black Tornado in the final game of the first half of the Southwest Conference season. Tonight, the Roseburg Indians come in 12-6 on the year, 2-2 in Southwest Conference play. After a couple of road losses, Roseburg back at home looking to try and end that two-game skid. On the other side, it is North Medford, 12-6 overall this year, but they are out to a hot 4-0 start in Southwest Conference play. They come in winners in their last 6 games as they look to repeat for a third time as your Southwest Conference champions. And we welcome you into tonight's broadcast. Joey Kiran here with you. Hopefully your Friday has been off to a beautiful start and your weekend is getting off and rolling on the right foot. As we get ready for tonight's matchup, want to remind everybody that you can always follow Roseburg basketball online at 541radio.com. You can catch the action there for free. We've got the live stream up and running right now, so feel free to head on over there and check that out to catch tonight's game. You can watch it on your smartphone, on your tablet, on your computer, or even put it up on the big screen with a smart TV or with things like your streaming devices like Chromecast to stream it up onto your big screen TV. Tonight's matchup should be an interesting one. These two teams have met previously this season. Last time Roseburg took on against North Medford, it was back on January 15th in a non-conference game. Roseburg fell on the road after fighting back to tie the game at halftime at 24. North Medford pulled out in the second half 44-19 to get a 68-43 victory over Roseburg. It was the worst loss of the season for the Indians. They look to try and get their first win against North Medford in at least a season and a half. So going to be a lot on the line tonight for Roseburg, who looks to stay above 500 in conference play, but they've got a tough opponent on the other side in North Medford, who comes in with that perfect Southwest Conference record. They look to try and defend their conference title, second straight conference title last year after they went 10-2 in conference play. They were not expected to be quite this good to start out the Southwest Conference season, but of course, head coach Scott Blankenhorn, the reigning coach of the year, has his team right where they were expected to be, at least within their own locker room. The JV game just into the final 60 seconds. Roseburg's JV team winning by 11. Looks like they'll be able to hang on to that margin. North Medford still applying pressure as Roseburg will turn it over on an offensive foul. Fans starting to trickle in here to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Things starting to pack up as the band and the cheerleaders arrive. Student section starting to fill up as well. Looks like we're in store for a good crowd here tonight at Roseburg High School. Still waiting for this JV game to wrap up, so we'll have a little bit of an extended pregame show. That allows us to let you know tonight's game is brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Coming up in the pregame show, we'll get a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Pardon and talk a little bit about the last one for Roseburg as the Indians fell to Grants Pass on Tuesday night out on the road. A tight game. Roseburg pulled ahead by 5 midway through the fourth quarter, but they couldn't hold on to that lead. Give it back to Grants Pass, who finished the game on an 11-0 run to pull away for a 52-46 victory. Roseburg was 2-0 to start out conference play, lost to South Medford, and then ended up losing to Grants Pass. And Roseburg comes in now 2-2. Injury note, Roseburg big man Jonathan Stone was back for the game against South Medford and then against Grants Pass. He started the game, only lasted about a minute. as Stone went down with another knee injury, hurt his right knee after previously injuring his left knee. They fear that it is the same injury that he suffered to his left knee, now on his right knee. And with that information, they think he's day-to-day, but we'll see. But it kind of looks as if Jonathan Stone might be on the shelf for the rest of the year. Unfortunate news there for the big man. It was good to have him back. He'll add much-needed depth to Roseburg's roster, but without him, Roseburg will have to go the rest of the way with a lineup that is going to be undermanned throughout much of the rest of the Southwest Conference season. So some tough news there for Roseburg as Jonathan Stone back on the bench after suffering another knee injury. For North Medford, they're coming off of a win. It's been a bit of a short break for them. They played on Wednesday. North Medford and South Medford squared off on a Wednesday night. North trailed by 4 at halftime, but came back and was able to rally in the second half for a 60-48 victory over South Medford to stay perfect on the year. But that is back-to-back games as South Medford has challenged another conference opponent, beating Roseburg and then taking North Medford kind of down to the edge. It was only a 3-point game heading to the fourth quarter. North Medford in front, but they pulled away with a 21-12 score in the fourth quarter to pull away for that victory. JV game goes final 44-33. Roseburg wins. And so the Roseburg JV team, I believe, improves to 11-5 on the year with that victory over North Medford. I think that makes up for a loss down at North Medford previously for the Roseburg JV team. Roseburg, of course, trying to make up for their loss down at North Medford in a non-conference game on January 15th, and they'll get their chance to do so coming up here in just a few moments. Pregame continues. They've got the 20-minute countdown up on the clock. We will take that. We will take our first break here in just a minute. And once they get that clock running, we'll go ahead and do that. And then once we come back from that first break, we'll get a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Parton to talk about Roseburg basketball leading into tonight's matchup with the North Medford Black Tornado. This is the final game of the first half of the Southwest Conference season. Roseburg sits in second place in a 3-way tie with Sheldon and Grants Pass. North Medford in first at 4-0. You've got South Eugene in fifth place at 1-3. And they are tied with South Medford at 1-3 as well. But you've got 3 teams overall this year that are at 12-6 on their overall record. Roseburg, North Medford, and South Eugene all have 12-6 records so far this year. Highest ranked team continues to be South Eugene despite being 1-3 in conference play. They're at number 12 in the OSA Power Rankings. North Medford at number 14 at the top of the standings. Roseburg comes in at number 23, Sheldon at 26, Grants Pass at 41, and South Medford at 48. So not necessarily the highest ranked numbers for the Southwest Conference this year, but win and you got a chance. That's all you can ask for. Counting down towards tip-off here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score tonight. This game brought to you by Flyway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or give them a call at 672-5707. Well, the North Medford Black Tornado have taken the floor. The Roseburg Indians will be out here shortly. The band getting ready to fire things up for us as well. It's Southwest Conference basketball for you tonight here on 1490 The Score, so stay with us, folks. We will take a quick break. When we come back, we get a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Parton as we get ready for tip-off tonight. It's Roseburg and North Medford from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Back with more of the pregame show after this on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here with more of our pregame on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Getting a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Parton here in the pregame show as Roseburg gets ready to finish out the first half of the Southwest Conference schedule against North Medford here tonight. And Coach, back at home, got to be nice to a little bit to be back at home. Road's been kind of tough coming off of a loss against Grants Pass, a game that came all the way down to the wire again as you guys look to try and get that first road win in conference play. But looking back on that, it was a close game. You guys battled back to take a lead late in that one. Nice to see the fight all the way through that game. But in the end, what was the big difference for you guys to come out a little short against Grants Pass?
Well, I just think that there was a key time in that last 2 minutes where we just needed to be more patient, and we weren't. We turned it over. We took a quick shot. So those are things we got to learn from. I thought we had already learned from it, but we did it again, and so we got to remember it, learn it, and not do it again.
This season has been an odd one in the fact that, changes to the roster. Jonathan comes back, goes down again in the start of that game. So you've had to juggle a lot of things throughout this season, figuring plug and play guys in certain spots. And you keep talking about, learning things, and you think you get it, and then you guys have to learn it again. Does it feel like it's been kind of a lot of start and stop this year with certain game plans, and then you got to rewrite it all and start again, and things like that with how the roster keeps changing?
Yeah, I think, when we restarted after John went down and we lost a player, we've had to make some adjustments, and we have to play that way. And it's a disciplined way to play, and we have to be in that discipline and be smart and read. And if we do that, then we have good things happen. I liked our fight at Grants Pass. I thought we played hard. I thought we did some really good things. We got our got a 5-point lead. But it's basketball, and it's a team game, and we got to play it that way, and we got to keep working at it and getting better.
That said, I know it's been a tough stretch, and that can kind of get guys hanging their heads a little bit and losing a couple of games in a row. But the season started out well. You guys are still in a good position. That the playoffs are still a possibility for you guys as long as you guys keep fighting with it. Have you seen the guys still showing that fight, still showing that attempt to get out there, continue to learn, continue to grow as ball players here throughout this season?
Yeah, I think we're coming in every day and working hard and trying to learn from our mistakes. So that's all you can ask. It's high school basketball, and it's part of an educational process. I think it's really important, and I think you have to strive to compete and get better every time you step on the floor.
The numbers offensively, obviously, down a little bit the last couple of games, and that's mainly you've lost a lot of the offense with injuries and the loss of a player there. So how do you guys look to try and make that up? I know it's been something you've been working on for weeks now, but continuing to try and find those other offensive facets to go along with what Colin's been doing. What can you guys continue to try and do there to try and get a little bit of extra from everybody else?
Well, we have to read and see who's open. Colin's going to take a lot of people with him at certain times in the game, and we got to read that and to make good decisions out of it. We got to make shots that are open and make our lay-ins, and then play great defense and give them only one shot.
Mm-hmm. North Medford tonight, wrapping up the first round through the Southwest Conference schedule. I think many people at the start of the year, maybe outside of the head coaches in the conference, thought that could be a down year for North Medford, but they come in perfect in conference play and challenging for a third straight conference title. Any surprise to you about where they're at here at this point in the season?
No. When you look at the last 10 years, North Medford's been the most successful program in our league, and they just seem to reload. They either get guys that move in, or they have good players in size. They do a good job of development. All those things play a part, and they've done a great job. And this is going to be a challenge for us. But we're looking forward to the challenge. So that's how you get better. You get better people, and I think that's what we're going to do.
Looking at the recap of their game against South Medford on Wednesday, and we're looking back at what we did when you guys were down there on the road at North Medford. The first half has been kind of close for North. South had a 2-point lead against them, or 4-point lead at halftime against them on Wednesday. Is a fast start for you guys kind of important to be able to try and keep you guys in this game, or give you a chance to win in the second half?
I think we got to play 32 minutes. Whenever we do that, we got to play well, and when we win games, we usually do that. So, yeah, that's a key for us to play well all 32 minutes and put two halves together. And when we don't play well, we usually have a bad half. And so it's key for us to have two good halves.
All right. Look forward to it tonight. Roseburg and North Medford going at it as we finish out the first trip through the Southwest Conference schedule. That's head coach Mike Parton here on the pregame show. We'll be back with more on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on three factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Welcome you back here to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium as we count down towards tip-off. Roseburg and North Medford squaring off, finishing out Southwest Conference play the first time through. Roseburg will have 5 more games on the schedule. Just flip the home team. Roseburg will have 3 road games and 2 home games left on that conference schedule. Plus you can mix in a game against Willamette still left to go in the season after tonight's game in there as well. Willamette is a non-conference game for the Roseburg boys, so we will have that one coming up next week as we make a couple of trips up to Eugene, taking on Sheldon Friday night, but Willamette coming up first for Roseburg next week. But tonight they finish things out against North Medford, who comes in 12-6 on the year, 4-0 in Southwest Conference play. On the other side, Roseburg 12-6, 2-2 in conference play. It has been tough going, as you might have caught there in the pregame interview with head coach Mike Parton. Been tough going on the offensive side in the last couple of games for Roseburg. They've put up only 46 points in each game. That's quite the drop after averaging over 60 points per game this season coming into it. Ran some of the numbers. Roseburg's been better at home, but they've got just as many wins on the road as they do here at RHS. They're 6-2 at home, and they are 6-4 on the road. They've played a road-heavy schedule, and it will continue to be that way the rest of the year. But at home, they are averaging a few more points than they were on the road. Actually, just a little bit higher. 62 points at home versus 61.7 on the road. But where you really start to see the difference is once Roseburg got into league play, they have dropped to 56.2 points per game. And it has not been great the last couple of games, averaging just 46. Maybe things get a little bit more settled now. Jonathan Stone, I think maybe the team was waiting for him to make his return to get back out there on the floor. Now that they know he's likely going to be out for an extended period of time and may not get a chance to come back until close to the playoffs, they may be able to put that out of their minds and just focus on being successful with the way the roster is currently shaping up. So we'll have to wait and see how that really comes into play over the next couple of weeks for Roseburg, but they have done enough to put themselves in the playoff discussion with the start of their schedule. Roseburg at number 23 right now. They obviously cannot fall too much further in the OSAA power rankings to get into a tournament spot, but at number 23, they've got a chance to get in. Obviously, they'd like to finish as one of the top 3 teams in the conference and earn an automatic playoff bid, but there's still a long way to go. And at 2-2, they are in a big group of teams fighting to get one of those top 3 spots. Meanwhile, on the other side, North Medford's really done a number for themselves here to start out 4-0 in conference play. They currently have a 2-game lead on the rest of the conference with that 4-0 record, and a win here tonight to go undefeated through the first time through the conference schedule, and they could really start counting down the wins until they get a Southwest Conference title once again. They've won it the last 2 years. They were predicted by the coaches poll before the league season started to finish second, with Sheldon taking the top spot. South Eugene expected to be in there as well. Roseburg was picked to finish fourth. Well, North Medford is really dominated and shown that they're the number one team right now. Not the highest ranked, but they are making their way there as they come in right now at number 14 in the OSA Power Rankings. They're in a very good spot to be able to clinch an automatic berth into the postseason. And with their power ranking where it's at, if things did fall apart in the second half of the conference season, North Medford would have a very good spot of still getting in as an at-large bid. Last time these two teams met, it was down at North Medford High School. The Black Tornado took a 6-point lead early in the first quarter, but Roseburg rallied back in the second quarter to tie the game at 24-all. North Medford then outscored Roseburg 44-19 in the second half for Roseburg's worst loss of the season. That was a 25-point loss to the Black Tornado for the Indians. Roseburg will look to try and turn that around coming up in tonight's matchup. Roseburg does have some wins over teams that I think many people were surprised about. Roseburg beating Sheldon and South Eugene earlier to start out Southwest Conference play. Those were some big wins. Roseburg had not beaten Sheldon since the 2012 season, and they hadn't won against South Eugene since the 2016 season. So yes, it was a very strong start for Roseburg, but they have to kind of regroup now and figure out the game plan for the rest of this conference season. Coming up after tonight, Roseburg's at Willamette for North Medford. They'll be taking on Grants Pass in their next game coming up on February 8th next week. North Medford will have Tuesday off as they have that bye built into the schedule with the uneven number of teams in the conference so far this year. As we make our way towards tip-off, I want to let you know, again, tonight's game is brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Fisher's Hearth and Home. Plus tonight, Roseburg basketball also brought to you by Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Tonight's game is streaming live online at 541radio.com on the 1490 The Score homepage. If you'd like to watch tonight's game streaming for free on your smartphone, your tablet, your laptop, computer, whatever it may be, you can find us online there. You can even bring it up on your big screen TV, a smart TV, or with one of those streaming devices. Lots of ways for you to be able to enjoy tonight's video stream live for free as you sit back, kick back, and relax and enjoy some Roseburg basketball on The Score. Looks like we got some competition in the stands here tonight. They're setting up a fake Sports Center desk across the way. I think that's none other than Zach Mandera that's going to be a part of that. They got a boom mic and everything. They're the real deal over there, those young men. That's Spencer Six and Zach Mandera over there getting all set up with their Sports Center table. I'm going to have a word with those young guys. Tell them if they really want a job, they know where to come find me. I don't know if they're going to look over my direction here, but there you go. Spencer Six and Zach Mandera over there on the far side. They got microphones and everything. A boom mic. They got headphones, microphones. I don't know if either of them are going to look my way, but apparently not. We're getting ready for tip-off. Looks like everybody's having a good, fun night here tonight at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. We're counting down towards tip-off. You got one of the Parker brothers over there doing a pregame interview. That's fun, but you got to make sure you keep your focus on the task at hand here tonight, because it's not just some slouch over on the other side. It's North Medford in town. The Black Tornado come in averaging 62.2 points per game. They give up 56.7. Pretty even numbers to where Roseburg is at on the season. But, of course, Roseburg has been going through a bit of a transition period over the last couple of weeks since the Christmas break. Returning all-conference players, if you didn't catch it in the first time we met up with these two teams, only one returning all-conference player for North Medford. That is Elias Spence, the soon-to-be teammate of Zach Mandera at Portland State University. Zach going as a linebacker to Portland State University next year. And Eli Spence, a tight end / running back kind of combo guy, one of those H-back types. A little bit bigger to play the running back position. Might be a little bit on the smaller side to play the tight end, although at 6'5" on the listed height for the roster tonight. He's definitely got some good size for this Black Tornado squad. But Eli Spence and Zach Mandera, both former opponents on the football field for Roseburg football and North Medford football, soon will be teammates at Portland State University coming up next year. Zach over there will get a chance to make some comments on the imaginary Sports Center broadcast about Eli Spence and his performance tonight against Roseburg. Roseburg does have the returning first-team all-conference selection in Colin Warmoth, who really has gotten out to a great season this year. He has already started setting school records, most points scored in a career. He has set the record for the most free throws made in a single game. He's only 12 free throws away from setting the single-season record for most made free throws in a season. Colin Warmoth really making the race for the Conference Player of the Year. He is by far the number one leading scorer in the Southwest Conference this year. Overall, including all games, Colin Warmoth averaging 26.9 points per game, has a season high of 38, but he is well ahead of second leading scorer Taylor Anderson, who is averaging 19.2 points per game, according to B.G. Gould down in Medford, who collects stats throughout the conference. But that is more than a 7-point difference between first and second in the Southwest Conference in average scoring. And actually in league play, Colin Warmoth, according to B.G. Gould, averaging 30 points per game. So really been a strong season for Colin Warmoth, who will have his name in the record book when it's all said and done. He's looking to have a big one tonight as they try to take down North Medford. Having some fun here tonight for Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. And looking forward to what Roseburg and North Medford will have for us here tonight. A bit of an extended pregame show with the JV game running a bit long. 44-33 was the final score in that one. Taking a look around the rest of the Southwest Conference tonight, you've got Sheldon at South Medford and Grants Pass at South Eugene this evening. We also have the Roseburg girls at North Medford tonight. It's been a tough season for head coach Dane Parnell, but tonight Roseburg will face North Medford in a matchup of two teams that have not won a conference game. So it's two teams that have had a bit of a tough start to the conference season. We'll see if Roseburg can maybe take down North Medford and see if they can get that first conference win tonight. It's going to be a battle of a couple of teams that have had their issues, but will hopefully have a chance to turn some things around here this evening. So that is a look at what's going on in the Southwest Conference tonight. We'll also get a chance to look at the Douglas County scoreboard for you as well, get you updated on what's going on around the rest of the county. We'll do that at halftime as we check your scores, as well as get you updates on stats and everything from the first half of the action. So stay tuned during halftime for an update on what's going on tonight on this Friday night in high school sports. Plus, we will get you as many scores as we can get you during the postgame show as well. So, a lot coming up for you tonight, folks, as we get ready to go. Soon we'll have your Supercut starting lineups after this final break of the pregame show. So stick around for that. Tonight's game brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. It's almost time to tip things off between the Roseburg Indians and the North Medford Black Tornado. Tonight's game is a Southwest Conference matchup as we wrap up the first time through the conference schedule. Stay tuned. Play-by-play coming up next as we get ready for Roseburg and North Medford right here. Streaming online at 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
That is the Roseburg High School Band performing tonight's national anthem as we get ready for tip-off between Roseburg and North Medford. And looking forward to this matchup. It's time to get us a look at our Supercuts starting lineup in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. Let's go ahead and take a look now at our starting lineup for the North Medford Black Tornado, the visiting team here tonight. Head coach Scott Plankenhorn will send out a starting lineup of senior Darius Wells, along with Jeray Thomas, a senior guard at 6 foot. Junior at 6'4", a post, Chet Carpenter. Another big man at 6'6", a senior, Garrett Parker. And down low in the blocks, the big body of Eli Spence at 6'5", a senior, getting the start here tonight. Taking a look at your Roseburg starting lineup. It'll be junior Jet Black starting tonight, averaging 6 points per game. At 5 points per game, Caden Seeley, another senior starting. Colin Warmoth averaging a conference high 27.1 points per game. For Howie Lake, a senior starts tonight at point guard. And for Roseburg down in the blocks, Carson Ellis averaging 4.1 rebounds and 5 points per game for the Roseburg boys. That is your Supercuts starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. Roseburg will be in the home white, going left to right on our radio dial. And in the black will be North Medford going right to left. It'll be Colin Warmoth and Eli Spence in the middle to tip things off tonight. It's won by Spence, and we will move right to left with North Medford winning the opening tip. Out at the top, Thomas with it. Drives to the top of the key, gets it to Wells in the corner. He drives into a couple of defenders and travels. He tried to pick up the ball as he tried to make a jump stop in between 2 Roseburg defenders. Just basically held onto the basketball, turned it over, and it goes over to Roseburg. First turnover of the ball game for North Medford. Roseburg will have it out at the top. Jet Black dribbling with the right hand, right side, bounce pass to Seeley, gets behind his defender, takes some contact, his shot short off the glass, had the ball stripped out on the rebound, but he'll get another look. Out to Jet Black for the 3. That one got tipped. No, he wants to say it got a hand on him, but the official will say the ball was tipped out of bounds. So Jet will have his first shot tipped out of bounds. He wanted a foul, didn't get that call, but Roseburg will keep the possession. Into the corner, Colin Warmoth with a 3. He's long, and Roseburg 3 looks at it to try and get the early lead. Cannot. Up the floor comes North Medford. These two teams played a close first half when they met back on January 15th. We'll see if it can stay close here in this one. Rattling through a 3 is going to be Jeray Thomas from the left side. Thomas will give North Medford its first lead of the night. To the far side of the floor, Lake gets it back to Warmoth. Tried to spin move in. His pass out was tipped by Spence, but it goes to Ellis. Driving left side, got it up off the top of the glass. No good for Ellis. And Roseburg 0 for 4 to start out the game. Thomas, step back, thought about a 3. Across the floor to Parker. He'll pull the trigger on a 3, and it's way long. Garrett Parker off the mark. Roseburg came down with the rebound. Tipped out of bounds by Spence. Out of the hands of Colin Warmoth, and Roseburg will keep the possession. Warmouth brings it across the timeline, a minute and a half away here in the first quarter, 3-0, North in front. Lake gets it on the right side, looks to enter it into Warmouth, going up against Thomas, and his shot will spin around and finally falls through. And Colin Warmouth will get the first points of the night for Roseburg, 3-2 your score. A deep three from Thomas, back iron clanks off, no good. Rebound comes down to Seeley. That one was about at least 6 feet from behind the arc, probably closer to 8. Thomas marking up closely against Warmouth, working on the sideline. They send the pressure, and a travel called. Warmouth picked up his plant foot and turns it back over to North Medford, right in front of the scorer's table, into the back court. Jet Carpenter will get the ball to Darius Wells, who brings it across the timeline. Hands it off to Thomas. Out at the top, Parker to the left side. Looking underneath Carpenter, across the floor to Spence at the elbow. He'll turn, attacks the basket, passes back out. They work it to the near side around the perimeter. Thomas with it on the left wing. Cutters through the middle of the defense, not there. Around a screen, Wells on the far side, can't lose Lake. He'll go around the screen again and passes it away. Back to the left side of the floor. Patient with the offense here for North Medford, looking for those cutters to the basket. Parker thought about a three, doesn't take it, steps around a screen, loses the basketball. Seeley might have poked that one away, and Roseburg will come up with the steal. 5:23 to go first quarter. It's a 1-point game. Roseburg down 3-2. Inner pass into Warmouth, got the defender in the air, but the backside block comes from Jet Carpenter, and North will come away with it. Up the floor, Spence. He gets his shot blocked by Seeley, and Jet will come up with it. That might have been Ellis on the block. And up the floor comes Roseburg. They'll slow it down. Jet with the basketball to the top to Seeley. They'll work it to the far side. Defensive start to this one. Seeley gets free underneath. The wraparound lay-in will go, and Roseburg's in front, 4-3. Caden Seeley gets the bucket to fall. Got the position underneath, got the defender above him, and then he just snuck underneath the rim for the backcourt lay-in. The backdoor lay-in, not backcourt. 4:40 to play first quarter. Pass far side, an open look at a long two for Parker. Back iron again. Warmouth comes down with the rebound. Parker 0 for 2 to start. Warmouth brings it across the timeline, marked by Dre Thomas. The transfer from Chicago for this North squad. Warmouth will get it right side, into the corner. Jet, an open look at a three. It rims off, falls off the iron. That one almost had a chance to fall through, just didn't get the home bounce. Left side, attacking the rim, hacked as he goes up. Jet Carpenter will head to the free throw line, ended up on the floor. And they'll put that foul against Carson Ellis to start out. Carson's probably one of the guys that you want to make sure doesn't get into early foul trouble. Roseburg, a little bit of a lack of depth on their big men. Carson, one of the guys you'd like to stay in the game. First free throw goes through for Jet Carpenter. Ties the ball game up at 4. Roseburg basketball here on 14-9 of the score, brought to you by Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Second free throw is good. North will go back in front by 1, 5-4. Both teams have held the lead here in the first quarter. We hit the midway point, counting down to 4 minutes. To the left side, Seeley passes it away, gets it back, had an open look at a three, doesn't take it, fights for the spot underneath. Working against Parker, tried to back his way in, back out to the top, an open look at a three for Ellis. Rolls right through Carson Ellis. First three of the night for Roseburg. 2-point lead for the Indians, their largest of the night, 7-5, 3:45 to go first. Carpenter calling for it at the top. Carpenter coming off of a big game of 14 points, leading the way in the win against South Medford. He gets it on the left side of the key. Out at the top, he passes it away to Thomas. Right side, Thomas tried to dump it back to the top. It's stolen away by Lake. 2-on-1, it was 1-on-2. Colin Warmouth drawing a foul. They'll say it's on the floor. First team foul against North Medford. And Colin drawing that foul against Darius Wells. Substitutions in for North Medford. Nick Carrick will come into the game. And so will Victor Orozco Bernal. Jet Black inbounding from the baseline. Gets it to Lake and gets it right back. Into the corner. Warmouth, head fake, gets bumped. No shot. They'll put it on the baseline again. Colin tried to get the continuation with a baseline jumper as he faded behind the backboard. Hit the side of it, but it wasn't going to be a shooting foul anyways. D'Angelo Adams comes in for Roseburg, enters into the game with 3:21 to go in the first quarter. Howie Lake will take a seat. Inbound for Jet, looks at the lob to the basket, instead goes to the corner for Carson Ellis. He drives right to the rim with the right hand. It's just a bit off, and then he's going to get called for his second, picking up a quick one early. He's got 2 early, and that's going to get Xavier Avilés up off the bench to take in for Carson Ellis. Mentioned Roseburg's size has been diminished because of injuries and suspensions, and so early foul trouble for Carson Ellis could be big. Out at the top, Orozco Bernal will whip it to the right side to Thomas. He looks in the corner but decides not to go there. Back out to the top. Orozco Bernal to Wells. Backs it back out, working against Adams. To Thomas at the top. His crossover gets free. His finger roll will go. The crossover lost the defender momentarily, and he was able to get at least a little bit of space to get to the rim. Finger roll finishes, ties it up at 7-all. Wormuth almost loses the handle on it. Passes it away to Jet, but gets it right back. 2:36 to go first quarter. Adams looking underneath. Pass it away to Seeley on the right side. Around the perimeter. Backdoor almost there for a minute for Adams. Wormuth doesn't take it. Instead, he'll take a baseline jumper from 16 feet. It's off the mark. Rebound down to Thomas. They get it up the floor quickly. Orozco Bernal pulls up for the baseline jumper, and it's good. Puts North Medford back in front by 2. 9-7. 2:13 to go. Back and forth first quarter. Largest lead has been 3 for North Medford. Both teams have held a lead. Avilés brings it out to the top. Almost lost a handle on it. He's got Carpenter all over him. Gets it to the corner. Out to the top, back to Wormuth. They'll reset. Jet comes to get it to the near side to Seeley. Trying to go underneath, and Seeley just throws it right to Orozco Bernal, who had stepped in front of Colin Wormuth. Up the floor, and a lay-in. Mike Parton wanted a travel, but he's not getting the call on Jet Carpenter. And it's the largest lead of the night for North Medford at 4. They lead 11-7. Ball poked away, and it goes out off of Caden Seeley. Timeout down on the floor with 1:35 to go in the first quarter. Roseburg will take their first time out of the ball game. They trail 11-7 back after a 30-second break here on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
$1:35 to go in the first quarter. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. North Medford with the basketball out of the Roseburg timeout. They lead 11-7, trying to get their largest lead. It already is, trying to add to it. Pass by Thomas, tipped up in the air, but Wells is able to keep it for North. 1:20 to go first quarter. Wells backs it back out between the circles, around his screen, gets it to Carpenter, a 3. Back iron, no good. Long rebound out. Carpenter will get it back. He's going to go right to the rim. Double clutch, reverse lay-in, no good. Rebound tip to Merhowie Lake, who has come back in the game. Carpenter misses on a couple of tries there. Roseburg with it, trying to cut down on a 4-point deficit. D'Angelo Adams goes right to the rim, too strong. Rebound came down to Seeley, and the Roseburg Indians will get another look. Nice take, I like it by D'Angelo. Just needed a softer touch. Seeley, he's going to take it into the lane. He'll pass it out to Lake. Underneath, Adams this time, and it will go. D'Angelo Adams gets 2. And Roseburg back within 2, 11-9. Quickly, the other side of the floor. Orozco Bernal, his lay-in no good, but he tips the rebound away from Wormuth. And out to the top, it's Parker for 3. Excuse me, that's Nick Carrick for 3. And it's out to a 5-point game. Largest lead for North. Frantic pace on that last possession for North Medford. 18 seconds to go. Adams going to try and take it all the way again, and he's too strong once again. They're opening it up for him and letting him try and take it. He's just got to get a soft touch to lay that in. Adams out at the top, working against Wells. Crossover, gets free. Wells short, and he won't get the call. A 3-quarter heave, hits the front of the iron, just short for Colin Wormuth. After 1, it's 14-9. North Medford in front of Roseburg, back after this 60-second break on The Score. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball at 541radio.com.
Back here at Roseburg High School on a Friday night, the Roseburg boys taking on North Medford. They trail 14-9 at the end of the first quarter, but Roseburg with the basketball to start the second. Colin Warmuth, Xavier Avalez, Howie Lake, D'Angelo Adams, and Jet Black on the floor to start for Roseburg. Pass was tipped away by Avalez. He'll get it back, gets it to Warmuth. Warmuth driving in will draw a foul. Everybody ends up on the floor. Warmuth draws the foul. I believe that'll go against Orozco Bernal, who will get called for the blocking foul. And they will call it a shooting? No, baseline. Inbound for Roseburg. Roseburg set up for the free throws. And now we'll have to adjust here. Foul does go against Orozco Bernal. Warmuth gets it out at the top, working against him. Driving right side. Things open up enough. Double clutch. The shot won't fall, but head of the line, Colin Warmuth. Roseburg, couple of games to start out conference play here at home. They were able to get to the line a lot. Had a game where they shot 34 free throws, made 31. But on the road, it has been a different story for Roseburg. They're coming off of a game at Grants Pass where they shot one free throw total. Colin made that. They were 1 for 1 on the other side. Grants Pass was 11 for 14, just not getting the calls like you do at home on the road for Roseburg. Colin makes them both, takes it back to a three-point game, 14-11. 7:35 to go, second quarter. Roseburg man defense. On the floor, North Medford. Orozco Bernal with it, dribbles it to the top. Landon Ellis is coming to the game. Pass his direction, stolen away by Warmuth. Behind the back dribble, and he has it stripped out of his hands from behind. He's going to want the call to say he was in the act of going up for a shot, and they will say he's headed to the free throw line. Landon Ellis will get the foul. You've got Nick Carrick, Orozco Bernal, Landon Ellis, Garrett Parker, and Eli Spence out on the floor for North to start this second quarter. Warmuth hits the first, and he is slowly chipping into the lead by North Medford at the free throw line. Second one coming up, and he's got it. 1 point game, 14-13. Roseburg on a 4-0 run to start the second quarter. Driving in, Ellis shot no good, but Spence with the rebound. He gets hit going back up, and he'll head to the free throw line. Eli Spence had 7 points against Roseburg last time the two teams met, had 4 points in the game against South Medford on Wednesday. Definitely a quality football player, another guy that's just a very good athlete as he gets out there on the floor tonight. As a basketball player, hits the first of his 2 free throws. Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score, brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Second free throw does not go. D'Angelo Adams comes down with the rebound. 2 point game, 7:09 to go, second quarter. Adams brings it up the floor, goes left side, tries to dump it over the top of the defense, and Jet's unable to get his hands on it. Tried to tip it to himself, but tipped it out of bounds. So Roseburg, after getting the ball after the miss on the free throw by Spence, they can't hang on to it and make North pay. Orozco Bernal handling the basketball at the top. One-handed pass to the right side to Ellis, the sophomore guard, getting some minutes here in the second quarter. To the near side, Carrick with it, beyond the arc. He'll shoot it from back there. Around a screen, Orozco Bernal going baseline, back out. Spence will take the long two. Off the right iron, no good. Adams down with the rebound, gets it to Avalez. And he'll bring it up the floor. North did a nice job getting back on defense, so Roseburg couldn't attack. Warmouth will pull it back out as Roseburg. Coach Pardon continues to say they need to be patient with the offense. On the far side, backdoor cutter, got wide open. Jet Black, easy two. First points of the night for Jet, ties up the game at 15-all with 6:12 to go here in the first half. In the corner, Carrick, pass out to the top. Straight away, Orozco Bernal on the one dribble, pass it away. Parker, between the leg crossover, spin move in the lane, working against Warmouth, and he gets called for the travel, shuffles the feet. Garrett Parker, the senior, at 6'6", had the inches against Warmouth, but just couldn't get a little bit of space to work with. He tried a few spin moves, could not get free, called for the turnover. Caden Seeley comes back into the game. D'Angelo Adams, nice minutes off the bench for him. We'll take a quick seat. Jet out with it at the top. Looking for the cutter, it's not there. Lost the handle on the ball, gets it back into Seeley in the corner. Trying to feed it underneath to Aviles, takes it in the middle himself, into the corner. Head fake by Lake. He lost a handle on it. North will take the ball away. Weaving through traffic up the floor, Ellis, pass out, far side three. Long one from Carrick, misses everything. Carrick 1 for 2 from behind the arc, but he misses the go-ahead three. 15-all with 5:29 to go. Jere Thomas will check in at the next dead ball for North Medford. Lake working the ball up the floor. He'll get it into the half court. To the top to Aviles. Spence working on him. Pass left side almost stolen. Lake drives in, tried to make the extra pass, and it's off of Roseburg underneath. Out of bounds off of Aviles. Lake tried to make the bounce pass through the defense, and it's tipped out of bounds. North Medford substitutions. Thomas back in, so is Carpenter. You've got almost the original starting five out on the floor. The only non-starter, Landon Ellis, out there. Ellis had 2 points against Roseburg the last time the two teams met. Dump it underneath to Spence. Ball tipped away by Aviles. Roseburg will have it. Numbers in favor of the Black Tornado, so Warmouth will wait for the rest of his team to show up. Goes right side, fakes the handoff to Lake. Now needs somewhere to go with it. Gets it to Aviles underneath. Baseline pass, a three from the corner by Seeley's off the mark. And with the rebound is Parker. Just a little long by Seeley. Pass on the outlet, stolen away by Lake. Out to Seeley at the top. Warmouth, left side wing three. It's off the iron, no good. 0 for 3 tonight for Colin Warmouth. He'd improved his three-point shooting to 40%, but he's 0 for 3 to start here against North Medford. Still tied at 15-all. We've been there for almost 2 minutes of the ballgame. Ellis going to get a running start into the lane. His floater no good. Tip up on the rebound. Goes out to Thomas on the far side. North will get another look. Thomas gets it back around a screen. He'll pull up for the deep three. It rims out. Seeley comes down with the rebound. Seeley through traffic up to Lake. Head fake. He'll pull up for the three. Looks off. It is. Seeley underneath gets the rebound against Parker. He gets hacked from behind by Ellis. And Caden Seeley should be headed to the free throw line. 3:56 to go in the second quarter. 15-all your score, and Caden Seeley a chance at the free throw stripe to give Roseburg the lead. They led by as many as 2 in the first quarter. It was a 5-point lead in the first for North Medford. And the first one falls off. And Seeley will have a chance with the second shot, but it'll only be a 1-point lead if he can get it. Second one falls through. 1 of 2 from the line for Seeley. Roseburg in front, 16-15. Driving baseline. Warmouth tried to go up for the block. He might have gotten a piece of it, might have gotten the rim more. And then driving right side. This is going to be a bucket and a foul for Parker. Garrett Parker goes in. And Parker will head to the free throw line for the and one and try to stretch it to a full 2-point lead. Warmouth, I think, got a block on the first one. A miss for Thomas. And then tried to get the block on the second one, but got the body of Garrett Parker. So Warmouth picking up his first foul. Parker hits the free throw. 3-point play, and it's 18-16 North back in front. Through the hands of Adams, almost lost it across the sideline. Tries to get it to Caden Seeley on the baseline. Tipped out by Thomas. 3:33 to go here in this first half. Been a tight one so far. Roseburg's got to keep that up for the entire game, though. They did not do it in the last one. Jet kept trying to feed it underneath to Aviles. It didn't work. Up the floor, and a foul. Colin wanted the block. He's not going to get the call. He might have stopped a two-hand dunk by Jet Carpenter, who will head to the free throw line. He is perfect 2 for 2 from the stripe so far tonight. Collin will pick up his second quick. 3:26 to go in the first half. We'll see if he stays in with the 2 fouls. Carpenter's first is good. Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score is always brought to you by Chuck's Warman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Second free throw does go for Carpenter. He hits them both. 20-16, back to a 4-point lead for North Medford. Their largest lead has been 5. Avilés will get it out the top. Spence overruns it. Avilés was free for a moment. Then he makes a misguided pass underneath. Stolen away by Parker. Weaves through traffic. Jump pass into the corner to Carpenter. He's going to take it in the lane. Stripped out of his hands. Goes to Spence. Spence back to Carpenter. Baseline fadeaway jumper. Good. Carpenter with 8 points in the ball game. 6-point lead now for North, and their largest of the game. Roseburg led at 16-15, and it has been all North since then. Collin cutting through, got some contact, no foul. Up the floor, in front, Parker hit on the baseline, no foul called. Avilés saves it back in after he got the steal, and it goes to Warmouth. And a timeout on the floor by Roseburg. Coach Pardon, a little bit heated about the no calls on the floor. Roseburg will take a second to try and cool down. 2:30 to go in the first half. 22-16, North in front of Roseburg. 30-second break, and back after this on 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Out of the timeout by Roseburg, 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Indians trying to cut into a 6-point deficit. It was a tie ball game not that long ago. North has gone on a run. Pass tipped into the corner to Adams, back to Warmouth. Warmouth, Avilés, Adams, Seeley, and Lake on the floor for Roseburg. Out at the top, Seeley, pass left side. Adams going to try the three, a little short, rims off. Rebound comes down to North, up the floor. Carpenter left side, feed it underneath, gets it back in the corner, a three, got it. Jet Carpenter having a big second quarter, and he's got it out to a 9-point game. He's got 7 in this period. 25-16, under 2 to go. Left side, Adams pass tipped out of bounds. Saw it far sideline, Roseburg will have it. Warmouth will get it on the inbound pass, far sideline, crossover against Carpenter, driving in, a lot of contact, no bucket. And Warmouth will be headed to the free throw line at least for a 1-and-1. It is 2 shots automatically as they do call it a shooting foul. 1:42 to go. This will be the first foul on Jet Carpenter. Carpenter, the junior, 6'4" post. That win over South Medford had 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocked shots. He had 10 against Roseburg the last time the two teams met. Meanwhile, Collin Warmouth hits another one from the free throw line here in the second quarter. And he stays perfect at the line here tonight. Back to a 7-point game, 25-18, a minute 38 to play, first half. Wells will bring it across the timeline. Yo-yo dribble on the right side. Working against Lake, he'll hand it off to Thomas. Around a screen. And ball tipped away by Adams, but it goes right to Wells. He steps inside the arc, and Darius Wells for 2. Hits the long 2. Back to a 9-point game. 1:15 to go. Warmouth, right side, fakes the handoff, going to drive baseline. Loses it, tipped out of his hands, out of bounds. It stays with Collin. That's got the North fans a little up in arms. I was a little surprised as well. We were kind of blocked from seeing the hand in on Collin. As he pulls up for the baseline jumper, it's off the mark. Warmouth, a tough shooting night from the floor, but from the free throw line, he's been doing his damage. Wells gets it baseline out to the top. Parker a three. It's a little short. Seeley down with the rebound. Seeley brings it across. Right side against Thomas. Hands it off to Warmoth. Right side. No look pass into the corner to Lake. Lake to the free throw line. Step back. Pass it away to Adams. Nobody in the middle. He'll back it out. 37 seconds to play in the first half. 9-point game. North in front. Driving baseline, bounce it into the corner for Seeley. He's going to drive baseline. Gets underneath. The bucket won't go, but heading to the line is Caden Seeley. Here in the second quarter, Roseburg has scored 7 points from the line. Jet Black has the only field goal of the second quarter. Roseburg with 9 points total to match what they put up in the first quarter. And it'll stay there as Seeley misses the front end. The Indians on 14-9 to score, brought to you by Bimart. Score big at Bimart where you can get ready for your season for less. Seeley hits the second free throw. 8-point game, 27-19 with 26.6 to go. Colin Warmoth takes a seat with 20 seconds to play in the first half. I think Roseburg doesn't want him to pick up his third foul before the halftime break. Orozco Bernal with it. Back in off the bench. 9 seconds to go in the first half. Wells with it. Working against Lake. Dribbles right side. Ball tipped away. Seeley looks at the clock. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Up the floor. Finger roll. Good. And that'll end the first half as Roseburg battles their way back to trail by 6 at the break. 27-21 your score as we head to halftime. Roseburg with a nice steal and finish by Caden Seeley. Gets them back within 2 possessions. The halftime break is coming up next. The more well-drilling halftime show is yours next here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back at halftime, it's the more well-drilling halftime show. Keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. For those watching online at 541radio.com, any idea what those guys over there are talking about at their halftime show? Spencer Six, Zach Mandera, and I don't necessarily recognize the boom mic operator, but I'm sure they're having quite the enthralling breakdown of the first half action. At the halftime break, It is North Medford 27, Roseburg 21. Taking a look at the first half, it was 14-9 after one. North Medford pulled ahead by as many as 5 in the first quarter. Roseburg led by 2, but that was as big of the margins that you would get, and it was a 5-point game at halftime. Then in the second quarter, not at halftime, it was a 5-point game at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, it was 27-21 is your score. Roseburg down by 6 as North Medford stretches the lead by 1. They led by as many as 9. But Roseburg, a steal and a lay-in by Caden Seeley to finish the first half gets Roseburg back within 6. And for Roseburg, they are going to need to make sure they keep the intensity up for the second half. One of the things that head coach Mike Parton told us in the pregame interview, that they have to play a full 4 quarters, 32 minutes. They've had a lot of games where they have a bad half or a bad quarter. They got to get all 4 if they want to take down the Southwest Conference leader here tonight. We'll come back with some individual scoring statistics and other stats from the first half and see if we can get you some other scores from around the Umpqua Basin. At halftime, it's 27-21. This is your More Well Drilling halftime show on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
This is your More Well Drilling halftime show. More Well Drilling, keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. Taking a look at individual statistics from the first half for the visiting team. North Medford leading the way with 11 points, only player in double figures. Jet Carpenter scores 7 in the second quarter to get to double figures. 5 points for Jeray Thomas, all of those in the first quarter. 3 points for Garrett Parker and for Nick Carrick. And 2 points for Victor Orozco Bernal, 2 points for Darius Wells, and 1 point for Eli Spence. Leading rebounder in the first half for North Medford is Jet Carpenter with 6, 4 for Jeray Thomas. For Roseburg in the first half, 8 points for Colin Warmouth, 6 of those at the free throw line in the second quarter. Then you've got 6 points for Caden Seeley, 3 for Carson Ellis, and 2 for D'Angelo Adams and for Jet Black. And leading rebounder for Roseburg in the first half, Caden Seeley with 6. Looks like 9 turnovers for Roseburg in the first half. And for North Medford, 7 turnovers for them. Taking a look at any scores we might have for you of note here tonight. Checking in with women's college basketball tonight. The number 9 Oregon State women taking on Colorado. 44-28 your score with about 5 minutes to go in the second quarter there. And the Oregon women leading 31-21. The number 4 Oregon women beating number 14 Utah right now, 31-21, with about 3.5 minutes to go in the second period for women's basketball. And the earlier tonight we had the Roseburg boys JV team winning 44-33 against the North Medford JV squad here at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. We'll try and see if we can get any other scores from see if maybe our counterpart over there, Matt, might know a score from the North Medford girls and Roseburg girls game. See if maybe he has anything there. We'll see if we can pass along any information on that one. Doesn't look like it. All right. You know who might? I think Demi might be doing that one tonight. We might see if we can get in touch with him. See if we can get a score update on that one. Roseburg girls are at North Medford tonight, and both of those teams looking for their first conference win. Guys on the other side not paying attention to me, but Sports Center broadcast rolling along on the other side. Spencer Six, Zach Mandera, they are talking away. Those guys having a good time. We are too. It's halftime. More Well Drilling halftime show wrapping up. We'll come back with the second half action for you when we return. 27-21. North Medford in front of Roseburg. Back after this 60-second break on The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Getting ready to tip off the second half. The officials having a quick word with head coach Scott Plankenhorn. Not sure what that's about. I highly doubt it has to do with this, but he did pick up a technical in the win against South Medford on Wednesday this week. The officials having a conversation strictly with Coach Plankenhorn. They also talked with Roseburg's coach as well, so I guess maybe they may be discussing something for the second half. There was a technical foul, if I'm hearing this right. A technical foul called. And so they're going to have technical foul shots, I believe, before the second half gets underway. So somebody's going to, it's Colin Warman is going to head to the free throw line for some technical fouls. Technical fouls, yeah. Not sure what would have happened, as Warmouth will start out the second half before it truly even starts with a couple of technical foul shots, and then I guess Roseburg will get the ball. And Warmouth hits them both. So it's a 4-point game before the second half even starts. And now, no, North will get the basketball. All right, I'm not sure what the explanation of the technical will be. We'll try to find out later, but not sure. North Medford has the basketball moving left to right with their road black jerseys. It'll be a 3 from Thomas off the mark. Rebound, tried to save it back in, was Spence, and it ends up being collected by Warmouth. Thomas will miss his first shot of the second half. Dre Thomas, Darius Wells, Jet Carpenter, Eli Spence, and Garrett Parker out on the floor to start the second half for North Medford. Their original starting 5. Roseburg has their original starters on the floor as well. Caden Seeley, Jet Black, Colin Warmouth, Carson Ellis, and Merhowie Lake. Roseburg moving right to left now on the radio dial for those of you listening to the terrestrial signal. Almost a minute ticked away here. It's a 4-point game after the technical free throws from Warmouth. Seeley will dribble it out to the top to reset the offense. Roseburg trying to get the movement going. Defense from North has been pretty tight here so far. Man-to-man defense, driving his way in, stripped out of his hands. Eli Spence will pick up the foul. Coach Blankenhorn is taking a long walk to the end of the bench. Not happy about that, but I think he's staying a little bit quiet after North picked up some technical fouls before the second half even began. And now on the inbound pass, Carson Ellis gets free, and he'll get an easy two. It's back to a 2-point game. A point of note, that was the third foul against Eli Spence here early in the third quarter. He stays in the game, 27-25. Roseburg back within 2 after trailing by 6 at halftime. Carpenter with it at the top. Thomas thought about the 3. The head fake doesn't get the defense in the air. He'll pass it away right side. Back to him at the top. Straight away deep 3. Front iron, no good. Seeley down with the rebound. 0 for 2 from behind the arc for Thomas to start the second half. Seeley on the right side. Tries to drive, gets it to Ellis at the elbow. Back out to the top to Lake. To the left side to Jet. Back to Lake. He'll drive around the screen. Had the ball stolen away by Thomas. Thomas up the floor. He'll lay it in. Looked like he was gearing up for a big one-handed dunk, and he just softly lays it in, taking the more higher percentage shot. Whip it into the corner from Warmoth, into Jet in the corner, out to a 3 by Ellis. It looked on target, just a little off, and down with the rebound comes North Medford. They lead 29-25, and a foul on the floor as Parker tries to drive left side of the line. That foul called against Merhowie Lake, the senior picking up his first. That is the first for Roseburg here in the second half. 5:50 to go, third quarter, inbounding from the baseline. Wells will get it into the corner to Thomas. Jet working against him, crossover, drives in. Hanger in the lane, it rims out, but Spence gets the rebound. His putback no good. Seeley rips it down. He'll work it up the floor quickly, going right to the rim. Had his shot blocked, out of bounds. It'll stay with Roseburg. The much bigger Jet Carpenter got his hand all over that. Nice take by Seeley to just attack the rim, force the defense to make the play. But a great defensive effort as a corner 3 on the inbound by Jet. No good. Tip out rebound goes to Ellis, and Roseburg will keep it. Out at the top, Warmoth around the screen. His 3 a little flat. Tough shooting night continues for Colin Warmoth. They need him to start getting a little hot. He's made most of his points from the free throw line. Wells out at the top, head fake, passes it away to right side. Thomas, step back, doesn't take the 3. Wells gets it on the right side. Back out to Thomas, tries to whip, fakes the pass, now drives left side. Oh, touch foul. DeRay Thomas driving the lane. His lay-in hit the front of the iron, but he draws the foul, and I believe DeRay Thomas is heading to the free throw line. The foul goes against Jet Black for his second.
DeRay Thomas at the line for North Medford.
29-25 your score, 4-point game. Roseburg has cut down the 6-point halftime deficit. Thomas trying to stretch it back out. He'll get the first. Tonight's game here on 1490 The Score is brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Second free throw does go through. 31-25, 5 minutes to play, third quarter. North Medford back in front by 6. Around the screen left side, Jet will get it across the timeline. Into the corner for Seeley. Seeley doesn't dribble far after getting a screen from Jet. Back out to the top to Ellis. Ellis behind the back dribble. Turns it over. Lob pass out in front in transition. Carpenter left side, cutter in the lane. And Spence lost it. Now fight for it in the lane. He's been in there a while. And a foul is going to be the call. And that foul on Merhowie Lake quickly picks up his second. Inbound from the baseline for Wells. Goes underneath in the middle to Spence. Uses his size. Off the glass for 2. His first field goal of the night. And it's out to an 8-point lead once again for North Medford. They led by 9 in the second quarter. Roseburg cut it down to a 6-point game. They had it down to a 4-point game as a pass nearly stolen away by Spence. Now he does get it. Up the floor. He lays it in. 10-point game now. North's defense creating the opportunities. Coach Parton wants him to get it into the half court, and he'll take a timeout. Roseburg timeout as they trail 35-25, 4:03 to go in the third quarter. We'll take it as well. The timeout is a full. We'll take a 60-second break as well. Back after this here on The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
35-25 your score out of the Roseburg timeout. 4:03 to go in the third quarter. Colin Warmoth gets it up the floor to Jet Black. Jet driving in his runner. High arcer, no good. The rebound tip to Ellis, and he'll put it back in. Carson Ellis will get his 4th point of the third quarter. And that's a much-needed basket for Roseburg. Gets it back down under 10. 8-point game, 35-27. Garrett Parker left side around a screen from Carpenter. Then they kind of get jumbled up, and they'll pass it away. Right side, Thomas going to drive in. He gets hacked. Ellis or Jet? That's going to be the question. Both of them with 2 fouls already, and they call the foul against Jet Black for his 3rd. Getting a quick check of the score from the North Medford and Roseburg girls. Tight one there, 27-26 at halftime. North Medford leading Roseburg by 1. First free throw for Jeray Thomas went through. He's got a second one coming. Trying to get it back to a 10-point game. And it's good. 37-27, 3:32 to go, third quarter. Colin Warmoth. 2 players in the backcourt against him. He'll get it up the floor. Adams will get it in the corner. He's going to drive baseline. Reverse lay-in. It does go. I've been liking to see the aggressiveness from D'Angelo Adams tonight. Attacking the rim. He's been able to get there. Just needs that feather touch to finish. Back to an 8-point game. 37-29, 3:07 to go in the third. A long 3 from Thomas. Rims, high rebound. Spence comes down with it. His putback no good. Rebound tipped out. And North will get another look. Eli Spence underneath, been doing a nice job on the glass. 3, no, that might have been a long 2 from Wells. Rims off, and Roseburg down with the rebound. Ellis will bring it up the floor for Roseburg. Spence marking him. Now will come out and apply some pressure. He hands it off to Colin. Warmoth holds out at the top, double team there. Zone defense out of North right now. Out to the top to Jet. Colin, it's actually not a zone. They're just marking 2 guys on him. Is a long 2 out of Carson Ellis. 6 points in the quarter for him. Back to a 6-point game, 37-31. They're just doing that trap against Colin on the defensive side, trying to take him away. It's been an effective ploy tonight. He's under his average for sure. Wells in the corner with it for North. They lead by 6. Thomas thought about a long 3, going to try and drive now. Gets airborne in the lane, kicks it out. Orozco Bernal, a 3. Rims off, no good. Spence gets a hand in on the rebound. It gets tipped to Ellis. Carson Ellis up the floor. Bucket and a foul. Ellis goes with the Euro step. He gets his 6th point. I make it 8th point of the quarter. He's up to 11, and he'll head to the free throw line to make it a 3-point game. Carson Ellis on fire here in the third. He is 4 of 5 from the floor. His only miss is from behind the arc. Tosses the head back to knock the hair out of his eyes, and he hits the free throw. And it makes it 37-34 with 1:52 to go. North looked like they were starting to pull ahead and run away with this. got it up to a 10-point lead. Roseburg's fought back, and they're only down by 3 after trailing by 6 at halftime. Roscoe Bernal at the top. A screen at the free throw line, pulls up, hits the 2. Five-point game, 39-34, a minute and a half to play. Warmouth out at the top. They continue to just try to trap him with 2 defenders. Third defender shows up. Roscoe Bernal steals it away. Up the floor. Foul and the bucket for Jet Carpenter. And just like that, it's back to a 7-point game. 41-34, and they can make it an 8-point game with the free throw coming for Carpenter, who is 4 for 4 from the line. Foul went against Caden Seeley. Carson Ellis will take a seat after a huge third quarter. He gets a round of applause as he heads to the bench. Xavier Avilés will check in next. Or he checks in for Roseburg, for Ellis. Carpenter's free throw. Hits the front iron, sits on the rim and falls off. Avilés with the rebound. First miss at the night for Carpenter at the free throw line. Seeley with it out at the top, 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Seeley picks up his dribble. He's got to have some help, and some Warmouth will come and get it. Warmouth, one-on-one coverage now defensively. Crossover goes right side. Help comes, poke away, and it's Nick Carrick who has come into the game, gets called for the reach. That'll be the 4th team foul against North, 5 against Roseburg here in the second half. That is the 1st against Carrick. They stack it up on the inbound, going to the back court. Warmouth, they wanted an over and back call as he gets hit on a 3-pointer. And Warmouth will head to the free throw line for 3. Warmouth will head to the free throw line for 3 chances here with 54.5 seconds to go. There's still some discussion going on, I think, on that inbound pass as Warmouth hits the first. The North Medford fans wanted to say that he was over and back. I think you have to have full possession in the half court to get called for the over and back, and he caught it as he was stepping across the line. Got 3 shots coming, so they got 2 more here. Tonight's game has been brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop, and by our proud sponsors of Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Warmouth hits his 2nd of 3, and he'll look to try and make it 3 straight here at the line. No, I jinxed it. It misses the last one. 5-point game, 41-36, 49 seconds to go in the third. Roscoe Bernal with it out at the top. That snapped 10 straight made free throws for Colin Warmouth, by the way. Roscoe Bernal on the right wing, hands it off to Carrick, who comes to get it. Around a screen. Open look at a 3. Long. 33 seconds to go in the third quarter. Adams came up with the rebound. That ball tipped out of bounds. Roseburg basketball. Adams had it, but he had no dribble left as he got stuck in the corner. Tried to get it to Seeley, and it got tipped out of bounds. Seeley will inbound, backcourt into Warmouth. 27 seconds to play in the third quarter. Warmouth brings it across the timeline. Looking for his first field goal since the first quarter. Passes it away. Avilés with it out at the top. Picks up the dribble. Seeley comes to get it. Seeley goes left side. Dribbles it off his foot. Taken away by Thomas. 9 seconds. He'll get it across the floor. He goes right to the rim. Is laying no good. The putback will fall for Manuel Angelo Jr. And that will take it to a 43-36 score as we go to the fourth quarter. Back after this 60-second break on 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Fourth quarter for us. Roseburg trails 43-36. Roseburg will start with the basketball. Inbound to D'Angelo Adams into the corner to Merhowie Lake. It was too low, and Lake almost lost it. He saved it back into Adams, who's trapped in the corner. He's got to find somewhere to go with it. And Mike Pardon will burn a timeout to keep the possession for Roseburg here early on in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break. 7:49 to go in the fourth. Full timeout, so let's take a 60 here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Just 11 seconds into the fourth quarter, Roseburg had to call a timeout. They've got 1 left. Inbound goes to Aviles, has his shot blocked from behind. North will come up with it, almost lost it out of bounds on the near side. Roscoe Bernal tumbling to the sideline. Able to keep the possession for North Medford. He goes around a screen, back out to Carrick. Head fake, drives to the free throw line, pass it away. Roscoe Bernal, a 3, back iron, back of the top of the backboard, and out of bounds. Carson Ellis will come back in for Xavier Aviles. 7:28 to go in the ball game. Roseburg down by 7. They haven't had more than a 2-point lead in this game back in the first quarter. North led by as many as 10, but Roseburg had it down to a 3-point game there in the third quarter, but just couldn't keep North off the board. Baseline jumper rims out for Collin, tipped, and it stays with Roseburg. Tough night shooting from the floor for Collin. He's got the 1 made field goal back in the first quarter. He does have the rest of his 12 points from the free throw line. Inbound goes to Ellis, out near the midcourt. Hands it off to Adams. Between the circles, passes left side to Lake. Bounce it into Warmouth. Trying to get to the rim, hits the side of the backboard. And up with it is North. They'll bring it up the floor. They've been very good defensively against Collin. Corner 3, off the mark. Jet Black down with the rebound. Carrick off the mark. Up the floor quickly to Ellis. Numbers not in his favor. He'll back it out. Warmouth has it. 6:43 to go. Roseburg's got to get a run started. Crossover, Collin left side. Gets his shot blocked. Gets it back. Too strong. Up the floor comes North. Pull up for the 3. Carpenter short. Rebound down to Warmouth, and he gets hit. And that'll be the 6th foul against North. And Roseburg's getting close to the bonus. And Carson Ellis trying to talk with Collin, who's been frustrated tonight. Can't get his shot going. I think I read his lips there telling Carson, I'm good. But he's had a frustrating night for sure. 16 fouls against North. That foul went against Manuel Angelo Jr. Inbound from the baseline. Full court pressure by North. Still a 7-point game. 6:23 to go. 1 more foul and Roseburg will be into the bonus. Across midcourt, Seeley hands it off to Adams. Dribbles to the top. Pass it away to Collin. He needs some help. He's going to redirect the offense here. Dribbles to the left side. Pass it to Jet out at the top. To Adams, driving right side. Gets baseline. Pass to Seeley in the corner. A 3. We needed that. There we go. Caden Seeley with the three, buries it. Roseburg back within 4, 43-39, 5:51 to go. A three trying to answer, nothing but net for Garrett Parker. Answering the run by Roseburg there. Back to 7 points. Collin brings it across the timeline. Lob into the corner for Seeley. Gets it right back, give and go. Warmith trying to back his way in, gets the edge and the lay-in. Collin finally gets his second field goal of the night. 5-point game. 5:23 to go. Driving in, Ellis hit. That's Landon Ellis, the sophomore guard, cradled the basketball, drawing the defense in the air, gets hit and will head to the line. That foul against Carson Ellis, picking up his third. Roseburg basketball is brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. And by Flyaway Travel. Give them a call at 672-5701. First free throw for Landon Ellis is good. Second free throw coming. Short, front iron no good. Rebound down to Jet Black. Almost lost it as he collided with D'Angelo Adams underneath the basket. Seeley has it at the top. Crossover dribble going to his left. Gets it to Adams. Right back to Seeley. He tries to drive. Pass it out to Warmith. He'll reset as they look for the more motion offense. Out to Seeley on the right wing. Spin move. Goes baseline. Into the corner for Warmith. He'll go baseline. Had it poked out from behind and a foul called. Jet Carpenter cannot believe it. He's still stunned, standing on the baseline. And that puts Roseburg into the bonus here. It'll be 1-1 for Roseburg. Collin Warmith at the line. D'Angelo Adams, the only Roseburg player there to try and rebound for him. Collin says, no worries, I got it. Hits the first. Collin below his average tonight. He's at 15, but he has been making a living at the line. Second one, rolls over the front iron and through. Back to a 4-point game again. Almost at the midway point, 4:48 to go. Roseburg still hanging around. North Medford been unable to pull away. Around a screen, Ellis back to Parker at the top. He tries to drive in, and a foul called. It looked like Seeley, but they may give it to Adams. No, they do call it on Caden Seeley. Seeley was just standing there but reached out, slapped against Parker on the arm. And it is into the bonus now for North Medford, so 1-1 opportunity for the Black Tornado. Eli Spence will check back into the game. At the line, Garrett Parker, he's 1 of 1. He'll make it 2 of 2 and have another one coming. And now one of the officials having a couple of things to say to the coaching, the assistants on the bench for North Medford. Second free throw did not go for Garrett Parker. Down with the rebound was Carson Ellis. 4:31 and counting in the fourth quarter. It's a 5-point game, 48-43. Ellis, one-handed zip pass to the far side. Long three from Warmith. Got it! That's a clutch moment to come up with his first three of the night on his 5th attempt. Around a screen, Landon Ellis. Pass it away to Roscoe Bernal. 2-point game, 48-46. Roscoe Bernal drives in. A long two from Eli Spence. Warmith down with the rebound, and he'll get it to Jet. Up the floor comes Roseburg. They got to slow it down. Jet almost lost it. He gets it to Carson Ellis. There's plenty of time, no need to rush, and a pass stolen away. Roscoe Bernal brings it up the floor. Pass in the middle is stolen away. Jet will come up with it. Out in front. He'll go right to the rim. Shot blocked out of bounds. With the swat is Garrett Parker, but turnovers on both sides. Sloppy play, and that prompts Scott Plank in order to bring his starters back in. Jere Thomas and Darius Wells will check into the game. Come racing onto the other side of the floor as Eli Spence on the defensive side. He was out of position for some reason. 3:35 to go. 2-point game, 48-46. Seeley with it out at the top, marked by Carpenter, around the screen, gets to the rim, lays it in, and we're tied. Caden Seeley squares it up at 48-all with 3:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Wells holds out at the top, passes left side to Carpenter. Roseburg fighting their way back in this one. 3:10 to go, open underneath. Carpenter got free for a moment, and he will get it to fall. Colin Warmith got caught by the screen. He did recover, but couldn't really get a good look at the block. Now things open up, and Warmith driving through the middle gets stripped, and he'll head to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Not into the double bonus yet. 18 foul against North Medford, and Colin will try to tie it up on this 1-and-1 opportunity. Roseburg with just one timeout left, all 5 still left for North Medford. D'Angelo Adams will take a seat as Merhowie Lake will come back in. Jet Carpenter picking up his 4th foul in this one. Warmith hits the first. He'll get a second. Roseburg trying to move back above 500 in conference play, trying to hound North Medford its first loss in Southwest Conference play. Colin will tie it back up again. 50-all. 2:53 to play. Wells hands it off to Spence, gets it right back on the right wing, marked by Jet. Pass to the top, and a foul going to be called against Caden Seeley. I think the 3 was launched by Thomas after the whistle, so he just wanted to get the shot off. Caden Seeley tried to fight through a screen, and he just shoved Eli Spence to the ground. I'm trying to remember back, but I do not remember a time when Caden Seeley played football. Eli Spence, a football commit at Portland State, just got pancaked by Caden Seeley. He misses the free throw, fight for the rebound. Roseburg basketball. And the officials are going to talk about that call. And the official that made the call will stick with it. And the North Medford fans are not happy with that one. Neither is head coach Scott Plankenhorn. Roseburg ball, 2:34 to go. To the left side to Jet, to Merhowie. Backdoor cutter, pass was too high. Jet gets it, off the glass, goes through. Roseburg leads, 52-50. And a timeout by North Medford with 2:19 to go. The North Medford fans are heated on the calls by the officials, but the Roseburg faithful are fired up here with 2:19 to go. We'll take a quick 30-second break, come back with more of the fourth quarter action on 1490 The Score. If you've stuck around, you're in for a good one. Fisher's Hearth and Home, a presenting sponsor of Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score. 52-50, Roseburg has stormed back to take a lead, matching their largest of the game here with 2 minutes almost left to go in this one. 2:11. North Medford with the basketball out of their first timeout. They trail by 2 after leading by as many as 10 in the third quarter. Jere Thomas in the lane, makes the pass, and it goes on the baseline, turned over by North Medford. Thomas got airborne like he was going to go to the rim, and his pass late caught Eli Spence, I think, off guard. And it goes through his hands out of bounds on the baseline. Full court pressure from North. 1:58 to play. Roseburg leads 52-50. They get across the timeline. Roseburg has just one timeout left, so they've got to be careful with the ball. Almost stolen away by North. Jet somehow keeps it. Carson Ellis will hold. 1:43 to go and counting. Jet around a screen, picks up his dribble, bounces it to Seeley, into the corner to Warmith. Colin will dribble it out to the top. Roseburg can use all the time they want. Warmith picks up the dribble, gets it to Seeley. Seeley around a screen, will dribble it back to the top, hand it off to Jet. Jet dribbles back to his left. North is going with some man defense, but they've got extra help out at the top. Jet dribbles, he gets free, goes right to the rim, the bucket and the foul! Jet will get his 4th point of the 4th quarter, and he goes to the line to try and stretch Roseburg's lead to 5. 54-50, 1:12 to go in the 4th quarter. Jets free throw. Long rebound. Oh, they're going to call it on North Medford lane interference. So Jet will get the free throw a second time. And it's on Darius Wells, who enters the lane early. So Jet will get a second try at it. And he gets it. 5-point game, 55-50. And a timeout on the floor by North Medford again. They'll take the timeout. I think it's a full. We'll take a 30 and come back with more of the full 4th quarter. This is Roseburg basketball leading by 5 over North Medford on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
One of the best home games we've had of the season. The crowd into it, and the Roseburg boys have given them a reason to get excited. 1:09 to go in the ball game. Roseburg leads 55-50. We're going to keep it right here. We will still try to get in a legal ID break when we can here, but not just yet. We'll keep it right here. 1:09 to go. 3 timeouts left for North Medford, 1 for Roseburg. North Medford will have the basketball, trailing by 5. Clock starts. Seemed like it was a second late, but it starts. And we are down to 60 seconds to play. Jeray Thomas, a 3, looks off. It is. Rebound underneath. It was Carpenter that gets it. He gets hit as he goes up and makes the bucket. And Jet Carpenter has a chance to cut it down to a 2-point game at the free throw line. 55-52 with 55.5 seconds to play in the contest. Roseburg battling back from a 10-point 3rd quarter deficit to take a 5-point lead here in the 4th. Crowd gets loud. Carpenter quiets them with the free throw. 2-point game. North will take another timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it right here, but we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score. (55-53), Roseburg leading with 55.5 left in this ball game. Roseburg will have the ball. Out of the timeout by North. Roseburg will have the full length of the court to go, and North, of course, using some full court pressure here, trying to get a stop. Jet can run the baseline, gets it into Ellis. Ellis trapped in the backcourt, gets it to Warmouth. They don't want to foul him. He gets it to Lake. Lake to Ellis. They got to get it across the timeline. Got to get it there. And they won't get the 10-second call. Roseburg gets it into the half court. Now Roseburg's got to be patient with the basketball. Seeley out to the top, and they do draw a foul. It's Darius Wells that will get the foul against Caden Seeley, and Wells will pick up his 5th. He'll foul out of this ball game with just 2 points. That one was close to a 10-second call. I was a little concerned about that one. It is an automatic 2 coming up with Roseburg into the double bonus now. They're going to substitute in Garrett Parker and Nick Carrick off the bench, get some height Wells takes a seat. And Eli Spence will check out as well. First free throw for Seeley. Falls through. That one made you sweat. Hit off the iron, clanked high in the air, and then hung on the front of the rim before dropping through. Second one falls through a bit easier. 57-53, 4-point game. 36 seconds to go. Thomas right side, drives in, got hung up. He'll go with the scoop shot, and Jere Thomas will make the bucket. It'll be Roseburg basketball with 2-point lead with 31.3 to go. Timeout down on the floor. We'll go ahead and take a quick 30-second break. Roseburg leading by 2. Final 30 seconds coming up when we return after this on The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
.3 seconds to go. Both teams with one timeout left. Roseburg leads 57-55. Jet will inbound from the baseline, full length of the floor to go. And a foul in the backcourt against Colin Warmoth. He'll head to the line for 2. He's made a living there tonight. It has not been a good shooting night for Colin Warmoth, but he's gone to the line quite a bit, and that is his bread and butter. When he's got a night where he can get to the free throw line, that's when he really can make a difference. I mean, he's a difference maker anywhere on the floor, but man, he's at the free throw line. He is lights out. Hits the first. Makes it a 1-possession game. He can make it a 2-possession game with a second. And he does. Hits them both. 59-55. 28 seconds. Up the floor quickly. Orozco Bernal out for a 3 from Thomas. Off the mark. Jet Black down with the rebound. He stepped on the baseline. Jet was right on the edge, and he tried to save it back in, and he could not keep his feet in. North will get another chance at it. 21.3 to go. Inbound out to the top. It's caught by Carpenter. He'll get it to Thomas. Another look at a 3. Got that one. And North Medford will burn their final timeout. And they trail by 1 with 16 seconds to go. Well, with 16 seconds exactly left in this game, a 1-point ball game, Roseburg, all you got to do is inbound the ball and hold on to it. I mean, even if they don't get across midcourt, if they get a 10-second call in the backcourt, you'd still just leave 6 seconds left. That's still a lot of time, but at least you're not giving them an easier look on turning it over in the backcourt. I'd say get the ball to Colin Warmoth, and Colin's got to do everything he can to make sure he does not turn the ball over and see if he can get North Medford forced into a foul. North doesn't have to foul because if they can trap Roseburg in the backcourt, it's a 1-point game. They don't need the ball twice. One shot will do it. Jet will inbound the ball. Can run the full length of the floor. He passes it up the floor, tipped out of bounds. No, Roseburg basketball. Swiping at it, I think it was Jet Carpenter, sends it into the cheerleaders on the far sideline. Roseburg now will get it near midcourt, and they'll inbound. It goes to Ellis, stripped out of his hands by Thomas, and they blow the whistle quick. 14.6 seconds to go, and heading to the free throw line will be Carson Ellis for an automatic 2, and Thomas will pick up his second. Carson Ellis has had a nice night tonight. Scored 9 in the third quarter. He's looking to add to his point total, and he will. First one goes through, makes it a 2-point game. He can make it a 3-point game, force North Medford into a tie at best. Second one goes through. 3-point game, 61-58, 13 seconds to go. Orozco Bernal hands it off to Thomas. Wanted the step back 3, no. Orozco Bernal for 3, he ties it. 61 all. In the backcourt. Timeout by Roseburg. 61 all with 2.2 to go. We're going to keep it right here out of the Roseburg timeout. They got a chance to draw up one play and see if they can win it, but in regulation. What a finish. What a shot by Orozco Bernal. That is his first 3 on 3 attempts, and he hit it to be able to tie this one and possibly send it to overtime. What a ball game here. Credit North Medford sticking with it, but a lot of credit to Roseburg fighting off the late charge by North. They trailed by as many as 10 in the third quarter and fought back to take as big as a 5-point lead here in the fourth. And we're all knotted at 61 apiece with 2.2 to go. Roseburg called the timeout in the backcourt, and they're going to have to go the full length of the floor. Overtime could be waiting. Eli Spence will mark Jet Black on the inbound pass. 2.2 to go. It's enough time to get something. Inbound to Seeley. Catch, turn, is half-court shot? No. Colin Warmoth almost had a shot at a tip-in. He doesn't get it. And that will send us to overtime. 61 all. Overtime period coming up next. Roseburg and North not done after regulation. Back after this 30-second break on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Well, Roseburg almost had it in regulation, and North Medford fights their way back to send it to overtime. We will head to the extra period, tied at 61. Huge 3 from Orozco Bernal, his first 3 of the night, to send it to the extra period. In the center, Colin Warmoth will tip off against Eli Spence, and Warmoth wins the tip. Roseburg will move right to left on your radio dial in the extra period. At the top, it's Caden Seeley with it. Darius Wells has fouled out of this ball game. Out at the top, Ellis almost had it taken away by Eli Spence. Spence also in foul trouble, so is Jet Carpenter. So those guys have to be careful. Colin Warmoth driving to the free throw line, passes back out. Warmoth in regulation had 23. To the left side, Seeley dribbles it out to the top. Roseburg trying to be very patient as the ball goes through 2 players' hands, and Jet will get it before it goes across the sideline. Ellis, bounce pass right side to Lake. Lake working against Carpenter, dribbles left side. He's going to drive in, pass it off to Seeley in the corner, out to the top. Head fake from Ellis, drives into the middle of the defense, gets his shot blocked, saves it in bounds, but it goes to North Medford. Nice long possession for Roseburg, but they get nothing out of it. 1 minute away in the 4-minute extra period. Under the 3-minute mark. Tied at 61. Orozco Bernal with it. Around a screen. Passes back out. North trying to come back and keep their perfect league season intact. They're 4-0 in conference play. Roseburg 2-2. Almost got the big win. Thomas thought about the 3. He'll pass it away instead. 2:35 to go. Both teams employing a, we're just going to hold on to the basketball until we get an easy look or until you make us do something. Or we get the final shot. You can do that with no shot clock in high school basketball in Oregon. Orozco Bernal into the lane. He'll just dribble right through it. Almost lost a handle. Turn around. He had an open look at a 3. Decides not to take it. To Parker. He almost had it poked away, but he's able to get it to Orozco Bernal, and he'll reset the offense. We've almost played 2 full minutes, and neither team's been able to get a clean look up. Carson Ellis, the only shot so far in overtime. Now in the three, in the corner, a three by Thomas, no good. Spence came down with the rebound, and a whistle. Travel. Thomas misses the three here in overtime. Spence got the rebound, but he got it knocked out of his hands, went to the ground to pick it up, and gets called for the turnover. Still 61 all, a minute 50 to play in the first overtime. Seeley will bring it across the stripe on the far side, hands off to Lake. Lake bounces out to the top to Ellis. Spence reaching as Ellis spinning. He'll drive in left side, gets free, throws it up at the basket, drops it through. Carson Ellis puts Roseburg in front, 63-61. North will bring it up the other side. Things open up. Off the mark. Putback is good from Spence. Ties it again as it was Garrett Parker. Wanted the foul call, didn't get it, but lost his shoe. He was pleading with the official, and while he's doing that, Eli Spence gets the offensive board and the putback. 63 all. Jet will have the inbound, full length of the floor to go with 1:24 left in the overtime session. Soft pressure in the backcourt against Lake. He'll get it across the timeline. Back out to the top to Ellis, who came to get it. Reaching out in front of Spence. Crossover, frees up. Ellis to the rim. He'll get another two. Carson Ellis with 4 in overtime. Roseburg back in front. And we are at the 1 minute mark to play in the overtime period. Roseburg leads 65-63, looking for a stop. Bounce left side to Parker, out to the top to Spence. Back to Roscoe Bernal on the right wing. He'll dribble to the top. They'll reset. They send Thomas to the baseline, marked closely by Lake. Carpenter can hit a three as well. Back out to Spence. Roscoe Bernal on the right wing, looking for the backdoor cutter. Carpenter gets free. He lays it in for two. Tied again at 65. Roseburg with 34 seconds, looking for the final shot. Heave down the floor. It gets away down to Jet. He goes up. The bucket and the foul. Jet Black puts Roseburg ahead with 29 seconds to go. Jet will head to the free throw line for the three-point play. That is the fourth on Eli Spence. Jet Black a chance to put Roseburg up by 3. Great court vision by Colin Warmott to see a man wide open down the floor. Jet's free throw is good. 68-65, 27 seconds. North brings it up the floor quickly. Orozco Bernal with the ball in his hands. He hit the game-tying three at the end of regulation. He gets it back on the right wing. Looking underneath, it's not there. To the top to Parker. 15 seconds to go. Warmouth marking Parker around a screen. Parker thought about the three, passed it away. Thomas is deep, 9 seconds. He may hold for the final three to try and tie it. 5 seconds, out to Roscoe Bernal, 3 seconds. A deep three for the tie. No! Roseburg wins! The Roseburg boys hand North Medford their first loss in conference play. And the crowd goes wild tonight here at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Roseburg goes to 3-2 in conference play. North Medford will fall to 4-1. An improbable run tonight by Roseburg after trailing by 10 in the third. They come back. They take a 5-point lead in the fourth quarter. They give that up, go to overtime, and they hold on the final possession to win 68-65, the final. And the Roseburg boys, winners at home once again. Big victory tonight for the Roseburg boys. We've got plenty to recap for you coming up tonight in our Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages and by Chuck Swarm Family Auto Repair. And don't forget our sponsor, Bimart, a proud sponsor of Roseburg basketball. A wild one to finish it tonight. Roseburg comes out ahead of North Medford. I don't know what to say about this Roseburg team, but they sure are making it an interesting season for us here on 1490 The Score. We will try to get a post-game interview coming up here in just a few, so stay with us for that. The Roseburg Disposal postgame show is next. Roseburg wins 68-65 on top of North Medford here at home. Plenty to talk about after this 2-minute break on 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
We welcome you into the Roseburg Disposal post-game show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal at 673-7122. Stick around in the post-game show. We'll name our Abby's Legendary Pizza legendary player of the game tonight. Who will it be? I got some questions about that one. I'm not sure who to pick right now. Huge performance tonight for the Roseburg boys. We'll do the math and figure out who it might be tonight for the Roseburg Indians. They win in overtime, 68-65. An overtime victory against previously undefeated in conference play, North Medford. The Roseburg boys victorious here tonight. What a battle coming back. Down 10 in the third quarter. Roseburg comes back, takes a 5-point lead in the fourth quarter. They give that up, and they go to overtime tied at 61. But in overtime, Roseburg gets a bucket. Full court press being applied. Colin Warmus sees Jet Black open on the other end of the floor. Jet lays it in to give Roseburg the lead, hits the and one for the three-point play, and Roseburg holds on defense. North Medford didn't realize the clock was running out, and they would not get a clean look at a game-tying shot at the end of regulation. And Roseburg holds on for a 68-65 win to improve to 13-6 on the year and 3-2 in conference play. North Medford falls to 12-7 and 4-1 in conference. A very big win tonight for the Roseburg boys that will do a lot to their playoff chances here in 2019. It was a 14-9 score after one quarter. Roseburg couldn't quite cut the deficit in the second quarter. They were down by 6 at halftime, 27-21. They would fall behind by 7 at the end of 3 quarters, trailing 43-36. They were down by as many as 10 in that third. But in the fourth quarter, they outscored North Medford 25-18 and almost came away with the win in regulation. Go to overtime where they outscore North Medford 7-4. 68-65 your final score. We'll come back with more of the post-game show and talk about the individual scoring from this one. Final score again, 68-65. Roseburg victorious tonight. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back after this here on 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Well, we welcome you back here for more of the Roseburg Disposal post-game show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal, 673-7122. Tonight, the Roseburg boys hang on down the stretch for a 68-65 victory on top of the North Medford Black Tornado. And joining us in the post-game show is Carson Ellis. The senior finishes with 18 points and, by our count, 5 rebounds. Big night tonight for Carson, and let me see here, 18, new season high for you, man. Nice night tonight. You come up with critical points in the overtime period. 4-4 Roseburg there. What was the chaotic atmosphere like in the locker room after this one?
Man, I don't think I've ever seen Coach Pardon that happy in the 4 years I've been here. We had John Thrones throwing chairs.
Wow.
I don't know, it was crazy.
Wow, quite the party going on in the Roseburg locker room.
Yes,
they
sir.
win 68-65 in overtime. You guys hand North Medford its first loss. How good does this win feel after going down to their place? You played them tight in the first half, but then end up losing by 25, your worst loss of the season. Nice to be back at home, I'm sure, but also you guys came out a lot more inspired and played a complete game here tonight, it felt like.
Yeah, it feels great to be back home. They kind of embarrassed us down there, and we wanted to come out, get going from the beginning, and pay them back for what they did to us.
So tonight, what was kind of the game plan for you guys, especially there in the second half? What kind of adjustments did you guys try to make in the second half after falling behind by as many as 9? You were down by 6 at halftime. You guys fall even further behind in the third quarter, but what kind of adjustments did you guys make to be able to get back and actually lead by 5 in the fourth quarter?
Well, we came out and we wanted to play our game, our tempo, not run up and down the court with them. We wanted to slow it down and play in the half court. We wanted to limit our turnovers because down there that was a big problem and why we lost. And I think we did a good job of that in the second half.
You end up with 18 points. Colin gets to 23. It's amazing how he does it. He only gets 3 field goals tonight, but he gets to the free throw line a lot. He finishes with 23, but we've always been talking about it's got to be more than just Colin out there. I mean, he's going to get to his point totals. You could do a nice job as a counterpart to him tonight. He had a tough night just shooting from the floor. What did you take it upon yourself at all to try and pick up, knowing that he was maybe having a bit of an off night shooting?
No, I didn't even know he shot that bad. We're just playing in a system. Just get open looks. Don't be selfish. Just play with your teammates, and you'll get open shots.
Carson Ellis joining us here in the Roseburg Disposal post-game show. You guys are coming off of 2 road losses to games. It felt like those were teams that you guys probably look back and say we should have had those wins on the road. But now here at home, you guys have beaten 3 teams that many people wouldn't have figured you would. What was kind of the mindset going into this one after a couple of losses for you guys?
We just figured we're back home. I mean, they're number 1 in the conference. Everybody wants to go get them. They're 4-0. They were, conference champions last year.
Yeah.
It's always good to go get a win against them.
Yeah, nice win here tonight against North Medford. Does it set a tone for any games coming up for you guys, you feel like?
Yeah, I think it does. I think we need to play like this on the road instead of
Yeah.
just at home. We need to do the same stuff we did tonight on Tuesday in Willamette or whatever, and beat them because they kind of did the same thing to us here. It was our one home loss, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, you guys have been very good at home. Now need to take it on the road. There's going to be a lot of road games coming up for you guys down the second half of the conference schedule. So congratulations, Carson, on a big win tonight. 18 points, 5 rebounds, and an overtime victory against North Medford. Congratulations. Have fun celebrating tonight.
All right, thank you, sir.
That is Carson Ellis. Thank you very much for joining us in the post-game show as Roseburg gets a win here tonight, 68-65 in overtime. They take down North Medford, handing the Black Tornado their first loss in conference play. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll look at those individual statistics and wrap this one up for you. Try and get you some other scores from around the conference and get you on your way here on this Friday night. Big night tonight for the Roseburg boys. I'm sure they'll be celebrating at some point, having fun celebrating a big win. Back after this 2-minute break with the Roseburg Disposal postgame show on 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Come back to finish things out here on the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Again, man, let them make the run to the dump for you. Call them at 673-7122. Big night. Roseburg, number 23 in the OSA Power Rankings. Upsets number 14, North Medford, at 68-65 in overtime. North Medford falls to 12-7 on the year, 4-1 in conference play. Roseburg goes to 13-6 on the year and 3-2 in conference play. Roseburg surpasses their win total from last year when they only won 2 conference games. So they had already passed their previous win total from last year for the conference or for the season as a whole, and now they get past their win total from conference play last year. Take a look at individual scoring tonight. For North Medford, leading the way with 20 points was Jet Carpenter. Carpenter also finishing with 8 rebounds, a team high there. 16 points for Jeray Thomas. Let's see here, 7 points for Victor Orozco Bernal, including the game-tying three-pointer in the end of regulation in the fourth quarter to help send it to overtime. Garrett Parker was 7. Eli Spence was 7. 3 points for Nick Carrick. 2 points for Darius Wells before he fouled out of the game, and 1 for Landon Ellis. Leading rebounder again was Jet Carpenter, 5 for Eli Spence, 5 for Jeray Thomas as well. On the other side for Roseburg, leading scorer with 23 points is Colin Warmouth, but he is one of 4 players in double figures, and we have not said that often this season for Roseburg. Warmouth with 23. He finished with 6 rebounds. Carson Ellis, 18 points and 5 rebounds. Caden Seeley had 13 points and a team-high 8 rebounds. 10 points for Jet Black with 3 rebounds there as well. 4 points for D'Angelo Adams off the bench. And that is all your scoring tonight for the Roseburg boys against North Medford. Big night tonight for Roseburg. Improved to 3-2 in conference play, and they will move within 1 game of North Medford for first place in the Southwest Conference standings. Not sure if we've got results on some of our other Southwest Conference games. It does look like South Medford falls to Sheldon. So Sheldon will keep pace as well as they go to 3-2, and they'll be right behind Roseburg, or right there with Roseburg behind North Medford. We're waiting to see if we can find a Grants Pass boys score to see if they move to 3-2 or if they fall to South Eugene and fall to 2-3 and fall behind Roseburg and Sheldon for second place in the conference standings. Taking a look at some of your other scores of note here tonight around the world of basketball. Glide falls to Illinois Valley tonight in boys basketball, 69-55. Let's see here. Reedsport falls to Coquille, 76-53. In the Southwest Conference, we mentioned the Sheldon beating South Medford score, 60-45. Roseburg defeats North Medford, 68-65 in overtime. And the Roseburg JV team won 44-33 against North Medford tonight as well. In girls basketball, Camas Valley defeats Riddle, 38-22. In Skyline League action, Days Creek wins 52-34 against Yoncalla. Oakland in the Central Valley Conference wins 44-28 against Monroe in girls basketball. And Douglas gets a big win against St. Mary's in the Far West League, 75-33 for the girls score there. Sutherland defeats Brookings Harbor by 1, 50-49 in Far West League action as well. Out on the coast, it was Reedsport defeating Coquille defeating Reedsport 72-20. And in the Southwest Conference, some scores we've got there for girls basketball. Grants Pass defeats South Eugene 34-28. And North Medford defeats Roseburg tonight 46-41. In college basketball tonight, we had women's college hoops going on. The Oregon women, number 4 ranked Oregon women, improved to 20-1 on the year with an 87-65 win over the number 14 Utah Utes, handing the Utes just their second loss of the year. And the Oregon State women, ranked number 9, are a winner tonight, 89-65 against the Colorado Buffaloes. All right, folks, that's about everything I have to tell you here tonight, other than what a night it was here at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. A fun one as Roseburg wins this evening, 68-65. It's time now to name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. The award tonight going to go to our post-game interview, Carson Ellis, 18 points and 18 points and 5 rebounds. Nice night for him in support of Colin Warmoth. He sets a new season high with the 18 points. Congratulations, Carson Ellis, our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. As we wrap it up, I want to say thanks to the North Medford Black Tornado for helping us get ready for tonight's broadcast with starting lineups and some information. Also want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin, Head Coach Mike Parton, and the entire Roseburg boys basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on 1490 The Score. I want to say thanks to Chance Terrell back in the studio for the radio production tonight. Thanks to Josh Nelson for help with scores and stats here locally. And a big thanks to Angela Keyran for the video production here on site tonight at the gymnasium. And folks, like to wrap up by saying thanks to you, the fans, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because of course without you, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keyran. We will chat with you guys next Tuesday when the Roseburg boys basketball team heads on the road for a non-conference game in Eugene against the Willamette Wolverines. It'll be a 6:45 start time, 6:30 the pregame show. You can catch it streaming online at 541radio.com or follow the action right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. All right, thanks, Chance. We will chat with you later, man.